Hi everyone. So I decided to do another video for my data analysis 2. And I decided to make a poem of my data and kind of this drawing as well. They both kind of go hand in hand. And I will read through my poem in a couple of seconds. But I decided to represent my data in a poetic form because, as our readings state, poems bring deeper experiences of emotions and feelings and can display your data in a different way. So I decided to use my transcripts from my interviews I pulled kind of pieces from each of my participants' experiences to create one cohesive poem together. I wanted to write a poem that incorporated all of their three stories in some way into a shared experience that they all share of living on the US-Mexican border. And I was really drawn to represent my data in this way from a quote in this chapter that Gerbrich said that poetic analysis creates a third voice, one that is neither that of the researcher nor of the research, but is a combination of the two. And this in particular was why I was drawn to this. I wanted to find a way to kind of combine not my voice as well as the voices of my participants. But one important thing that I tried to keep in mind as I was doing this was a weakness that our text pointed out, that Gerbrich notes that there's a potential always of the researcher to be colonizing their data through re-representation of selective perspectives to suit their own beliefs or values. So relating maybe only to one part of your data or turning it into maybe something that suits yourself. So I tried to be very transparent in my poem and tried to kind of take as much of my stories of my participants as I could, and I definitely have a bias of myself and my connection to this place and my data, but I tried to be very conscious of that when I was writing the poem itself. And it's actually something that I want to go through with my data analysis workshop this week, and have people look at my poem and tell me what they think with that. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and read my poem quickly here. So, well, a couple of things on my drawing, I guess. So it says, the title is Bienvenido, which means welcome, and it's crossed out and welcome is put up there, to the valley, and then quien belongs here, and quien just means who, so welcome and who belongs here. And obviously this is the border region, and there's lots of little words that represent kind of each side, and this yellow area is the Rio Grande Valley that is mentioned in the poem. Here I have some kind of identity labels that get placed on people from this region, or people place on themselves in some ways too. And then here as well, kind of what the border is called in both of these areas. So we have things like the border, the fence, pochos, gringos. So pochos are kind of like people that are from Mexico, but now they live in the US and they're kind of becoming Americanized. And so that's seen as a stigma from people that are real Mexicans down here. So it's kind of a stigmatic language. And gringos, which probably a lot of people have heard, are kind of the white people that live in the valley, and they're the gringos, right? They're not Mexicans. Like, they don't belong here. Why are they here? So anyway, so this is how my poem reads. Bienvenido, welcome to the valley. Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley. We are a part of the US, so I should say welcome. But we are also tied to Mexico. Bienvenido. Are you from here? You are. Well, you speak Spanish then. You don't? That's a shame. Your family must be kind of sad. You like speaking English. Well, good for you. English is the language of power. Bienvenido to the valley. Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley. We are a part of the US, so I should say welcome. But we are also tied to Mexico. Bienvenido. Are you from here? You're not. Well, why are you here? Teach for America? No? Wow, why would you come here? Do you speak Spanish? No? Well, suerte. We speak Spanish here. Everywhere here. You might not fit in, gringa. You come from up there, and we are down here. Bienvenido to the valley. Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley. We are a part of the U.S., so I should say welcome. But we are also a part of Mexico. Bienvenido. Are you from here? No? You're from Mexico. Do you still cross? You do. You're not afraid? I haven't crossed in forever. It's dangerous over there. All right, so that is my poem. I chose to use repetition of kind of bass stanza, I guess, 3 times throughout, of this kind of saying, welcome to the valley, we're part of the U.S., or we're part of Mexico, or we're tied to Mexico. I just wanted to kind of clarify and emphasize the region, and also to use it as a way to shift from kind of story to story, and just, reemphasize this idea of living here. I chose to do that in a response to Kate Conley of 2010 in her article, where she suggests that repetition can be used when the occasion warrants extra clarity or emphasis to highlight an issue. So I really wanted to highlight the idea of this is where we are. We're talking about a borderland between the U.S. and Mexico. I think that my poetry, in a way, responds to kind of a narrative poetry, in the way that it kind of has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but at the same time it kind of doesn't. So I feel kind of constrained at putting a label on it, and I feel like poetry in itself defies labels in a lot of ways. So I kind of just want to let my poem be free, if that's possible. And I chose this image to highlight kind of some of the aspects of my poem, but also give a visual of where exactly I'm talking about. Because a lot of times when I tell people about where I did my master's and where I spent so much time living at an orphanage down here, they have no idea where I'm talking about. And it's understandable. I don't expect people to. But when you can show someone, oh, it's right here on the tip of Texas, I think it helps kind of illustrate an idea of exactly where you're talking about. I also wanted to add the colors of the flags to show a couple of things. One, to show the differentiation that we are talking about two fundamentally distinct places if you look at a map and you think politically and things like that. But I also wanted to show that their colors blend together here, and especially in this border region. And this kind of just happened by chance from the way I was doing the flags, and this is just the Texas flag and not necessarily the U.S. flag, but I thought that was kind of interesting to show, in a way, a common ground illustrated through that. And I have this signified idea of up there because many people that I met in this region, when I would tell them that I'm from Minnesota, or one of my friends who's a participant in this study as well, she's from West Virginia, and they would be like, oh, you're from up there, whatever that means. It's kind of like this stigma of this place above Texas, out of the valley, and no one really knows what it is or what happens up there. But it's kind of these terms that you hear a lot of times, and this idea of down here, over there, that on this side of the border, a lot of people in this valley are like, okay, what happens over there? Like, we don't really know. It's just these kind of weird words, but they're very important at the same time. Reflecting on doing this poetry analysis, I definitely feel a stronger connection to my data, and I feel like I know it on a different level. And I've been able to draw more connections between my participants, which I would like to do eventually when I kind of write up my data as well. And yeah, I think it kind of internalizes the perspectives of the people around them. And my poem kind of has this basis of asking people, are you from here? Why? Why are you here? Why don't you fit the norms of people that are supposed to be here? And I think in a way it internalizes the struggle that's shared among people, even if they come from very different backgrounds. And it's helped me reflect on my own experiences as well. I relate definitely to one of the kind of stanzas in this poem, but it's not entirely my story either. So I liked that in itself. And some kind of lingering thoughts I have after writing this poem was questioning again, how do I fit into this poem? And politically, right now, the borderlands is a really hot topic, and it's something that is on a lot of people's minds, even if you don't know anything about what happens here. Everyone's heard this idea of the wall that's going to be built down here. So politically, I fear and I worry for the borderlands of U.S. and Mexico, and it kind of reaffirms the reason of why I want to do this project. But it's already such a place of tension, and it's been even before it's being politically under this microscope of should we build a wall, shouldn't we build a wall. I question the integrity of our government, and yeah, I guess in a way it really illustrates of the reasons of why I want to tell these people's stories that live here, and to show that they're just people. They're just trying to survive, to get by, and things like that. So yeah, those are kind of just my lingering thoughts as I finish this and move on to analyzing my data in different ways. But I really enjoyed this project and this process, and I've kind of gone through multiple drafts too, which has been kind of interesting to see. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you.